Hello everybody, this is Donut, back again with another tutorial/instructional video for Red Builder's upcoming MTC mod. Today we have two new logic blocks, logic repeater and the logic relay. So let's begin with the simplest one, the logic relay. It's as basic as you expect. It just connects to another relay wirelessly. This will aid you when you're going to optimize your maps to not be one giant creation, but rather multiple, but still have them communicate with each other. The usage is as simple as it gets. You write this relay's address and you write the address it sends to. So in this case, we have this is test 1 and it's sending a signal to test 2. And this is test 2 and it sends a signal to test 1. So they are tied and work perfectly fine back and forth. Note that you can't loop them. Like if this was just with vanilla logic gates connected through blueprint bugs, then when I press this button it would loop because this would send to here and this would send its signal to here. Notice that you can't loop these. This is done intentionally so you can have multiple points of communication. Now let's move on to the next block, the logic repeater. It looks like this. The UI looks like this. Pretty simple. Let's begin with the first mode, the classic one, T flip-flop mode. And we're gonna convert a pulse to a toggle. So here you go. It converts a pulse signal to a toggle signal. And then you can do the opposite. Just by clicking this little arrow. The output time is here. You can write it down in ticks, just like every other logic block. Now I will show off the pulse extender mode. All it does is extend a pulse to your desired length. If you have a 0 in here, then it will just convert any signal to a pulse of your desired length. But if you say, for example, set it to 40 ticks, then you can't simply just click the button. You have to hold it for at least this amount of time before it will activate. And then it's active for the 200 ticks I set it. Now on to the example for today. And for this example, again, I'm going to first show it how it's played, and then I will explain how it functions from the logic perspective. So, we have this unfortunate duck in a glass cube, and we have a door, and we have a trigger. So, we have to, let's try to open the door, and realize that we can't open the door, and that we have to show this camera to the duck to progress. So let's do that. And now the camera is watching the duck, so we can go and press the button. And we can pass through. Now, let's see how all of this works from the logic side of things. First off, this cube can be literally anything. It exists here purely for demonstration purposes. So obviously this camera is just decorational. Everything is actually done with the trigger block that I already showcased. That just waits for the cube to stay in it at least for 2 seconds before activating a logic relay. So this is our relay, a button, and we are sending a signal to door. So let's do that. Also, if notice that I put the duck, which is the part the trigger is looking for, in the middle of the cube. If you're gonna build custom detectable objects, I suggest you would do that too. So the trigger actually looks for the center of the object because that's where the duck is. Now here we have another logic relay on the door. What a surprise, that receives from the button, because this is the relay named door. Now this, I just put the button here for it to look nice, but you can just put anything in here, it doesn't really matter. When we click this button, we trigger this AND gate, and this AND gate checks for the signals from the button and the logic relay. And then it activates two logic repeaters. One in T flip-flop mode that will turn our pulse from the button into the toggle. And this goes then into a NOR gate, and this goes into the piston, which controls the door. Now the second one is the pulse extender, because we receive the pulse from the button. And now we wait 0 ticks, and we extend it to 200 ticks, which in turn activates the lights and the engine, so we have a cool alarm go off when we open the door. And obviously you would have like a tiny bit more logic to prevent the player from being able to close the door. But still, if you look at this setup, this is 5 logic blocks, and this is two logic blocks. Don't mind this one. This one was to test the setup before recording. So yeah, these logic blocks really simplify the construction of maps, which should hopefully help with better performance and quicker execution. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in whatever logic part I will tackle on coding next. I will stop the recording now.